head against your microphone.
I'm your stunt double.
Sorry about that microphone.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's very tall, isn't he?
I remember vividly the first day coming in. I was really very nervous. I had 3 co-pupils and we sort of trooped into the conference room to meet the head of pupilage at the time, but was put quite quickly at ease by my first supervisor, who was very friendly, very likeable and practical and down to earth.
Oh, my first day in Chambers. I was very nervous. I didn't know what to expect. Actually, I remember coming in this shirt. I remember feeling very nervous, but my supervisor, she gave me a very discreet piece of research task. And I think I was able to finish it within a few hours. That was a good first day, I would say.
The very first day, my supervisor already had something for me to do because he had just been instructed in a hearing and it was all sort of happening. So I remember being sort of already marshalled into something, and it was very dynamic from day one, and I absolutely love that. I really felt like, okay, this is brilliant. This is what I wanted to do, and here I am doing it.
You've got one sort of clump of hair that's...
Yeah, that is a sort of occupational hazard.
We've got some scissors or some gaffer tape.
Don't even think about it. You have 3 supervisors during the course of your pupilage, and the focus is really on learning and teaching and allowing you to develop the skills that you need to be a successful tenant at 1 Essex Court, but also a successful commercial barrister.
About half of the pupils are people who have not studied law as undergraduates, and so pupil supervisors are well used to having people who need to get up that learning curve quite quickly and are very good at helping you to do that.
I think all of my supervisors have reviewed my work very carefully, and sometimes they would send me a draft of what they did and explain to me what I could improve and what I did really well. So yeah, they've given me a lot of time, I would say.
I always felt really supported all the way through pupilage and on into tenancy. And the great thing about 1 Essex is you build a relationship with your pupil supervisors that lasts beyond pupilage. And so you always have somebody who you feel you can go and talk to if you have a difficult legal problem or a question about practice.
Don't use that. I think that just sounded I was trying to say, it's a bit hard because I was trying to say, aside from the supervisor, which is the natural sort of point of contact, every day you see them, you work with them, I also had a pupil mentor who was someone completely external to the process, so I could have a confidential chat with them about anything really.
During pupilage, you have a member of Chambers who won't participate in the vote on your tenancy, and so you can go to them if you need help with things that you might feel are sensitive or you wouldn't want to speak to your supervisor about.
The whole idea is that you will be incentivized to share your worries and however you feel during pupilage with this mentor. And my mentor, her name is Stephanie. She's very kind. She took me out for coffee, for lunch, and she explained to me how things are done. And I felt very supported. To be fair, I think from my first day in Chambers, I've just generally felt very supported. This is like explaining your job to like your family who has no idea what you do. There's no sense of there being ruthless, cutthroat competition between the pupils. My fellow pupils and I, we support each other. We go for drinks together, and everyone, yeah, I think I have a very good relationship with my fellow pupils. They might say otherwise, but
that is a very important point.
You are assessed on a sort of rolling basis based on the work that you do for your supervisor. At the end of each seat with each supervisor, they'll give you feedback. There'll be a short report written on you, and you'll also get feedback on work that you've done for all the other members of Chambers, which you sort of do on an ad hoc basis. But there's no formal assessment beyond those reports, as opposed to some other chambers where you might stand up and do advocacy in front of members of Chambers or do written exercises. We don't do any of that.
The only criteria we apply is excellence. Are they good enough to be here? We don't have a number of positions to fill, or none of our sort of training or assessment of them is intended to compare them or pit them against each other.
On the whole, the bottleneck is at getting pupilage, And once you are a pupil, the focus is on bringing you up to the standard to be a successful tenant, rather than on, making 2 offers between 4 pupils. You don't have very much to do with your clerks during the first 6 months of pupilage, but once you get into what's called the second 6, you're entitled to take on your own work. So that's when the relationship with your clerks really begins. The sooner they can get people practicing, the better.
They have been very nice, and sometimes I call them with, I would say, quite silly questions, and they have always been very patient, and they would tell me exactly what to do. And I do genuinely feel that they want me to develop the kind of career that I want.
Working somewhere where everyone is very intelligent could be intimidating, but in my experience it's the opposite. You feel as though you have got into Chambers on your own merits, and therefore you are intellectually valued and an important part of the team.
I mean, the shirt is bunching a lot, and there's nothing I can do about that. It's probably the right size of a year ago.
I think what's great about 106 Court and what draws me to this set of chambers, first is the quality of work. The second thing about 106 Court that really draws me to it is the people. I really felt that this place has a very collegiate atmosphere. I can get informal advice and guidance from not only my supervisors, but almost anyone who's more senior to me.
Collegiality is a really important part of what matters to this place. And people are really collegiate, not just in terms of stopping for a chat, but also in terms of keeping their door open. So there's always someone you can talk to if you've got a difficult legal problem or something like that. We have people from all over the world here. We all love being barristers, work really hard at it, and try to be at the top of that game.
Okay.
I'm sure we've got everything.
Great, lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Great.
Well, thanks. I've had a nice time.